The SRL on the NFL. Previews, predictions, and analysis covering every storyline in football every week. The SRL on the NFL. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to SRL on the NFL, episode number 8, already almost halfway through the NFL season. After week 9 will be the halfway point, so we're back. I'm Brendan Yerkes, joined alongside Alex Vachapante. As always, we made our NFL picks last week. Alex actually got the win last week. I think I had the last 2 or 3, I'm pretty sure, but we're all even up at 61 and 42, which is kind of crazy at this point that we have the same exact record. But I went 9 and 6. Alex went 11 and 4. So a pretty good week of picks. I picked a few more upsets last week, but we'll get right into it. Go through all of the games from last week, starting with a Thursday night game that we both picked the Saints to win at home, and they are just reeling right now. And the Broncos actually ended up getting the win in a high fashion. They won 33-10.
Yeah, I wonder, are the Broncos kind of decent? As weird as that says, because they're 4-3 right now. Maybe we need to start giving them a little bit of credit. I mean, their defense is really good. Their offense is just kind of not too great. But their defense has been amazing. They're almost top 5 in every category.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints have now lost 5 games in a row.
True.
Obviously, Derek Carr is hurt, but they started 2-0.
Yeah.
It's just, what is going on? And they're just not beating teams that, again, we think they should beat. But like you said, the Broncos might be better than we thought. So then maybe that's something to discuss as we move ahead. London game for this week, the Jaguars and the Patriots, is absolute disaster. The Jaguars were the better team of the bad teams. They win 32-16. I don't think we really have much to discuss there.
Not really.
The Seahawks get back on track. They get a win. They move to 4-3 with the win over the Falcons, who I feel like the Falcons are just such a bipolar team because some weeks they look so on point and they're winning, and then some weeks they just look bad, like this week. And at home they don't win.
Yeah, I think also Seattle wasn't looking too great going into this game. They really needed this one. And Kenneth Walker had a really good game. 2 touchdowns, nearly 70 rushing yards. DK showed up again, had almost 100 yards and a touchdown, but now he's injured, so we don't know how long he's going to be out for. But yeah, I just think that maybe Seattle thought, you know what, we really need this game. We haven't been good the last 3 weeks. So we got to get this one under any cost. And they were able to get it. And they won pretty handily by 20. So
yeah. Buffalo beats Tennessee 34-10. Josh Allen, another big game, 323 passing yards. Amari Cooper scores his first touchdown after getting traded to Buffalo. And is Josh Allen the MVP right now?
I don't know. I think probably in terms of individual stats, but the team isn't insane right now. I feel like it also kind of relates to how good your team is. So give me a few more weeks before I make that determination, but he doesn't have a turnover.
Obviously there's still time.
Yeah, he doesn't have a turnover yet, right? Is that still?
I don't think so.
I
think this is his best season, at least by far, in that category, with throwing interceptions and such.
That's crazy.
So the Bengals get back on track. They beat the Browns. The Browns, obviously, they lose Deshaun Watson. The fans there were actually pretty happy about that. Say what you want about a player getting injured, but he's out the rest of the year. So he tore his Achilles. Bengals get the win, though. They win 21-14. So let's see if they could start stringing some wins together and crawl themselves back into this playoff race after a dreadful start. Packers and Texans, really good game. The Packers win on a last-second field goal, 24-22. And again, these are 2 good teams that have a couple random losses on their schedule. And I think you like what you see from both these teams here.
Yeah, you definitely do. Both teams are 5-2, so obviously both teams are very good. Jordan Love, the thing with him, he's been good since he came back from injury, but he's got to limit those turnovers. He had 2 picks this game. He's had a few multiple turnover games this year. He's got to clean that up. If he cleans that up, then the Packers could basically be unstoppable, but that's his biggest issue right now.
Yeah, CJ Stroud, not really a good game for the Texans. low completion percentage, not a lot of passing yards. However, the run game did play well, so at least that kept them in the game. So you got to think maybe if CJ Stroud plays better, they could end up winning this game. That's what they're definitely going to work on. The Colts beat the Dolphins 16-10. The Lions and Vikings played another really good game. This one goes into the favor of the Lions 31-29.
Yeah, we both predicted this, that the Lions were going to pull this one out. We just felt that, one, the Vikings were due for a loss. They've been playing well above expectations, to say the least. Jahmyr Gibbs went crazy, 160 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns. And they got Amon-Ra back involved with a touchdown and 112 yards. Now their question is what's going on with Jameson Williams, because now he's getting another suspension for PED use, from what I understand. So it's like whenever he finally starts to get on a roll, then of course he gets suspended.
Yeah, he's been really, really good this year.
He has been really good. So it's disappointing, but yeah. So now they're dealing with that.
And yeah, David Montgomery goes down, but Jahmyr Gibbs, a big game, 116 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and spreading that offense around, getting tight ends involved. You're getting running backs involved. And then, obviously Jameson Williams being that Swiss Army knife, hopefully he's not out for more than those 2 games and they can get him back on track and then assimilate him back into that offense because they're firing really on all cylinders. The Giants, they get smoked 28-3. Saquon Barkley comes back to the Meadowlands and absolutely goes off 176 yards and a touchdown. It's got to be tough for Giant fans at that one.
I mean, did I not predict this last week?
No, you did. You did.
I said, watch.
I don't know why. I was feeling the Giants win. It just didn't come to fruition.
It's not even that I said that the Eagles were going to win. I said that Saquon was going to kill us, and he killed us. It doesn't surprise me at all. 187 yards, 176 rushing yards alone. Yeah, he killed us on the ground, and it's not surprising. It's really frustrating, though, that they put in Drew Lock towards the end of the game. I understand that they're getting smoked anyway, so you might as well put in your backups. But I think my biggest frustration is because I already know what Drew Lock is. I'd rather see Danny DeVito out there. I mean, not Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, right?
That's crazy.
That would be funny. He would be a great quarterback, right? Don't sleep on Danny DeVito.
Good lineman.
Maybe. Tommy DeVito, though, I liked what I saw out of him last year. Although in a limited sample size, he was winning games for the Giants. So if you're going to put another quarterback in, I don't want to see Drew Lock. I know he's terrible. Give me another chance at Tommy DeVito if you're going to put in a different quarterback.
I don't know. I just think it's a lose-lose situation with, Jones and Lock.
Yeah.
But DeVito doesn't really show anything special to me. I feel like he's one of those guys who'll come in, have a good game, and then everybody like, oh, is he good? And then the rest of the games will just be mediocre. But, Daniel Jones not getting it done. Hasn't thrown a touchdown pass or scored a touchdown at all this season. There are 20 NHL players that have scored a point more recently at MetLife Stadium than Daniel Jones has, which is crazy. I don't know if you saw that stat or not.
Yeah, he's not cooking at home. Definitely not. It's so weird, though. You would think he would do worse on the road, but yeah.
He did throw a touchdown pass to the other team in the first game, but that does not count.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Jalen Hurts, nothing special this game, but it was kind of the Saquon show. He was good, completed a lot of his passes, but didn't really need to rack up the yards with Saquon just torching the Giants defense.
Nope. Yeah.
Injured Rams team, they get the win over the Raiders. Just a talent disparity. Even though they're hurt, they're the better team, better coach, and better quarterback, really, what it comes down to in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders get back on track after a tough game against Baltimore. They smoke the Carolina Panthers. So concern for Jaden Daniels, though. He goes down, rib injury. I don't think he's going to play this week. They said it's week to week. If they can survive without him and stay in this race, then that's going to be just what you want to see from them. But Marcus Mariota came in. It did look good. The Panthers are terrible, though, so that might be part of it. But if he could just kind of hold it together, let the running backs and let his receivers kind of do the rest of the work and let that defense, keep it good, then keep it tight, then I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see what Marcus Mariota was doing with this offense. Maybe just the offense overall is just really good and very quarterback friendly, because I haven't seen Marcus Mariota play like this in years. So, hey, if he plays like this next week, then I think that Washington is in really good shape here to maybe contend for this division.
All right, so the Super Bowl rematch, the Chiefs win yet again. They are 7-0. They win 28-18 over San Francisco. And I think you just once again saw that their dominance on full display. The 49ers, like they do, they didn't look great early in the season, but I think it's starting to get late for us to be saying that.
Yeah.
San Francisco, you got to start winning some games. And I get it's the Chiefs, but you're 3-4, and you're starting to lose guys to injuries. I saw Ayuk's going to be out the rest of the year now. What a disaster that was. He wants the money. He gets the money. He's not good, and now he's out for the year. They got Ricky Pearsall back. It's just Kansas City just finds ways to win, and they're just distributing the ball to everybody. Today they land at DeAndre Hopkins, too, so they're going to get even better on offense.
Right.
And they're just an unstoppable machine right now.
And you look at Mahomes' numbers, 150 passing yards and 2 picks. He didn't even throw for a touchdown. That's scary. That should be a message to the league. Wow, that is terrifying. Mahomes has been bad for his standards. Bad. Not just like, bad for his standards. And they're still 6-0 or 7-0, right? Or 6-0 because of the bye week. So they're still 6-0, yet Mahomes hasn't even unlocked anything yet. That is terrifying for the rest of the league.
Yeah, that one rushing play, I don't think he scored, but when he stopped on the sideline and just kept running, that was insane. But really, you know who's the X factor in all these games? It's been Kareem Hunt. They brought him back like it was his rookie year when he was there, and he's been amazing.
Yeah. Well, he's familiar with the scheme. Like it made perfect sense when I saw the reports of him coming back.
And he's still somewhat young in his career that he's able to slide back in and do that. Now think about it. When they get Pacheco back, put him and Kareem Hunt together back there.
That's crazy.
Who is stopping this team? I don't know.
And again, they didn't even get much out of Kelsey this game. Like, when everyone's firing on all cylinders, you're going to have Hopkins, Worthy, like...
Well, you could have people take games off when you have this talented and deep of a core.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy to think about. But yeah.
It's nuts. All right, let's talk about Sunday Night Football.
Okay.
So, the Pittsburgh Steelers smoked the Jets 37-15. The Jets were actually winning this game at one point. It was 15. I think it was not 15-3, maybe 15-6. I think I don't remember exactly. But the Jets, they were up here, and then they gave it right back.
Yep.
You had 2 good drives on offense. Wow, that's nice. Let's expand on it. No, they didn't really feel like it. Okay, so sorry, I'm just rambling on right now. Aaron Rodgers throws a pass to Garrett Wilson on the sideline. In his hands, in his chest. That's a first down, right?
Yep.
No, it hits off your third-year wide receiver who apparently thinks he's one of the best in the league, and he's very talented, but it hits him in the chest, bounces right to the Steelers defender who runs it back to the 1. That's basically a free touchdown. They scored. And then the game from there went away. George Pickens was feasting against the Jets secondary that's injured. Sauce was off the field at one point. DJ Reed didn't even play, and Michael Carter hasn't even played. So then you got all these backups out there. Pickens is getting these goofy catches that bounce off, the defenders, and he's making all these plays. And I don't even think he was that active, but just those ones are just all big. And it's Russell Wilson coming back, and he looked great. So it's really this Jets defense has fallen off a cliff from where they were last year. Let the Steelers into the game, let them run away with it, and then the offense did nothing to compensate. Aaron Rodgers, 3 interceptions again. He's got to figure it out, and just everybody has to be better. Devontae Adams was nothing special his first game. Still has to learn the scheme, get familiar with those kinds of things again, which is fine. But I'm just concerned. The run game is not great. They're using Breece Hall more, getting him more active on the outside in the pass game. Like the run game, like I said, not good, but slowly getting there. So that's the only positives. But it's late, early. They're 2-5. They have New England next week. Like this game, we said if they don't win, then they're screwed. And we keep picking them to win for some reason. I know we already discussed this, but just these are games that their roster is too talented to be losing these games. And I don't know if it's on the coaching or the players because somebody's got to get blamed for this, but it's the same thing every single week, and it just should not be happening.
The biggest thing that I'm thinking about is I'm just curious. I don't know how many teams have ever started off 2-5 and actually made the playoffs. I know that was obviously like the biggest goal of the Jets going in this year. All right, let's make the playoffs. Let's try to have a solid run. And I don't see that happening. Yet you trade for Tay last week. You're getting Hassan Reddick back. I think, is he going to play this next week? Is that the goal? or
Yes, I think so. Yeah, that's
okay,
something that should help the defense
that
because
should help a
Quinnen
little.
Williams
Yeah,
has been irrelevant at D tackle. Will McDonald's the only defensive lineman who's actually been getting to the quarterback
yeah.
and getting sacks and making plays. So that could hopefully change everything.
That
But
yeah,
I don't know.
like you need to be able to stuff the run. They haven't been able to do that. Now their secondary's already a little bit banged up. They it's just it's so weird. Like their identity of defense is now not there anymore, which is so strange. And but then the offense still has just kind of been the same how it's always been, which doesn't make sense when you have a future Hall of Fame quarterback, you have great weapons around him. It just I I don't understand the Jets. The Jets should be so much better than they actually are.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the defense hasn't been the same, and the D line has always been the strength under Saleh. Now, obviously, he's gone.
Yeah,
So if they can kind of get that back to where they should, then maybe everybody else will pick it up. But they are very banged up. Secondary's very hurt. Rogers is absolutely banged up. A lot of lower body stuff,
yeah,
and he can't really move out there. But still, that doesn't affect you throwing the ball to the other team. So, but yeah, I was staying correctly. He had 2 interceptions in the game, but still
yeah,
not ideal. The other one, they were driving. It was like somewhat triple coverage. It's kind of like whatever.
yeah,
But yeah, everybody needs to be better. They play the Patriots this week. Must win game. We say must win game every week,
yep,
but New England is New England this year. All right. 2 Monday Night Football games. The Buccaneers, they fall to the Ravens. It's 41-33, 41-31 score. The story of the game, though, Chris Godwin playing in the last minute. He gets injured. He's out for the season. So they're down by 10. They're trying to make something happen, and a tackle, he gets hurt. So that's a disaster for Tampa Bay. You lose, then you lose one of your best receivers. But Lamar Jackson absolutely cooked in this game. 5 touchdowns, 281 passing yards.
yeah. No, Lamar is just insane. And again, like I've been saying these past few weeks, the Ravens are just showing you that they're actually the Ravens. Like after those first 2 weeks, everyone was stressed out. Like, oh no, the Ravens aren't good. They're terrible. Like, and here they are, just being the Ravens. They're definitely back, 5-2. They're leading the North now. I have full confidence that they're going to win the North.
Yeah, we forget that they played the Chiefs the first week, but I would like to see them play the Chiefs now just to
Yeah,
see how
that would be
they would
fun. Oh
compare
my gosh,
at
that
this
would be
point in the
insane.
season. In the last game, the Cardinals upset the Chargers 17-15. Cardinals were the home team, and they pull away with a win. Very strange. The Cardinals are a very strange team to me this year because one week they'll look absolutely awful, and the other week they'll get a win. So I don't really know what's going on there, but good for them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, their offense should keep them in most games. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Kyler has been pretty good this year.
Yeah,
I think that's a big reason why. Moving on to week 8, let's make our picks. Starting out Thursday Night Football, Minnesota Vikings, LA Rams. This one's in LA, but the Vikings are going to bounce back. They've been playing well. Rams are banged up. A lot of trade rumors surrounding them and Cooper Kupp and stuff like that. So Minnesota's going to get back in the win column here.
yeah. I'm gonna be going with Minnesota as well. They've just been the much better football team all year, and yeah, the Rams are banged up. So I just don't feel interested in taking them most games. So yeah, give me the Vikings for sure.
Ravens Browns. This one's in Cleveland, but Ravens have, we just talked about them. They're playing elite football right now. They're on a roll. And Jameis Winston, I think, will provide some sort of spark to the Browns, but they're not slowing down Lamar and the Ravens.
See, the thing is, Jameis may throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and then 4 picks. Like, I love
Right.
Jameis Winston. I think he's a fun player, a great teammate. But yeah, I'm going to be going with the Ravens here. They're just hitting their stride right now. Uh, just they're the Ravens. They're a quality AFC team, contender for sure. And the Browns have been terrible. And you lose to Sean, who hasn't been good, but he's still name value and could maybe win you a game. He's not even there. So
Right.
yeah, give me the Ravens.
All right, Titans and Lions. I think this is another easy one. I'm going to take the Lions. Tennessee makes a trade today. They're starting to sell off some pieces. They're 1-5, third worst record in the AFC. Some teams are 1-6. So Lions are on a roll as well. don't see a reason for them to be slowing it down. A lot of matchups early on. Good teams playing not good teams.
Yeah, no, I'm also going to be going with the Lions as well. Are you sure you don't want to change your pick to Tennessee? You like them a lot.
No, I'm okay. I know every week I pick the Titans, but I think I've given up on that. I think
All right,
last week
fair enough.
we hammered it down that I'm no longer picking the Titans.
That's a good point, and I think that you should stick with that. But yeah, I'm going to be going with the Lions here as well. At home, playing really good football. So yeah, give me the Lions.
All right, Cardinals and Dolphins. We just said the Cardinals are a weird team. They got the win last week. They're not going to win this week. Tua Tagovailoa is coming back for the Dolphins, and I don't know if that really is going to provide that big of a spark. I think they're going to be excited that he's back and he's able to play, but I just think, playing a team like the Cardinals, like their defense is going to be able to shut it down. But like they've had no hope the last couple of weeks, and I think this is going to be a game where they get back into the swing of things with Tua.
So I'm actually going to be going with the Cardinals here. I think the Dolphins very much could win this game, but I think that they're going to have a little bit of growing pains with Tua coming back because, yeah, they haven't looked good under other quarterbacks besides Tua, but you still have to reacclimate him back into the offense and everything. I think that the receivers may still not be on page with him. I understand that they played with him for a while, but still, it's just that week to week basis. Things are completely different. So I'm going to be going with the Cardinals here because I just think that they have more continuity right now. So give me the Cardinals on the road. A little bit of an upset, but yeah, give me the Cardinals.
That would be nice. Jets and Patriots, second time this year. I know where we both stand. We both hate to be doing it, but we have to pick the Jets again. And it's just the Patriots are just so bad, and the Jets have too much talent. Last week with the Steelers, if you picked the Steelers, it would have been like, all right, fine. We both thought the Jets would end up winning that game.
Correct.
But I see zero chance of New England finding a way to win this game.
Well, yeah, I mean, because the Jets, last time they faced them this year, they smoked them out the water. So, like...
times were good in week 3. They looked
like,
very good.
If the Jets cannot beat this New England team, I mean, clear house. Clear everybody.
Fire everybody again.
Fire
just
everybody.
Cancel the season. You know what? We'll just call it a day. Forfeit the rest of the games.
2-6 and you lose to New England, yeah. Give up on the rest of the year. But I'll be going
I would, honestly.
I'll be going with the Jets here, but I don't feel good about it for some reason. Like, it's so weird to say, but I'm going to pick them because obviously they have more talent. So.
No, you could never feel good about the Jets ever. So.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right. Falcons and Buccaneers, they played on Thursday night, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, very recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked the Falcons that game. No, I picked the Buccaneers that game. And they lost. The Falcons came back. This time, I'm going to take the Falcons. Losing Chris Godwin, not good. Mike Evans a bit banged up too. And Atlanta coming off a tough game. And we said they're very weird, their offense back and forth. They're on the road, but I just got that feeling that with the Buccaneers missing those top wide receiver targets, Baker threw 2 picks last week too. It's going to be tough for him, especially with some other options to having to throw the ball to. So give me Atlanta on the road.
I'm going to be going with Tampa Bay here. I like their chances solely because that they're at home. I think, yeah, that the Falcons are just a weird team. Like, they look great one week and then they look bad the other. But for some reason, I'm feeling confident that the Bucs are going to pull this one out at home, so give me the Bucs.
Bears and Commanders was in Washington, and I was originally going to go with the Commanders. I think I just changed my pick to Chicago just because Marcus Mariota, if he's going to be the one starting, I don't really feel as confident. Now, I do like all the veterans they have there that have been holding down the fort. Defense has been playing really well, but I think the Bears are also playing well and not really getting talked about. Caleb's been decent, and a lot of their pieces have been good, especially their defense. So if it's going to be Mariota, that defense is going to swarm him, make it tough on him, and I give the Bears the edge.
So I'm going to be going with the Commanders here. I think that Mariota looked really good last week, albeit against the Panthers. I know that the Panthers aren't great, but they're still an NFL team. So,
well, I guess.
Yeah, I guess partially. But, I mean, hey, you're putting up solid numbers. I think this is a really quarterback-friendly system. I think that's what we're starting to realize. Cliff Kingsbury has a really intriguing system for quarterbacks that are able to be mobile. Marcus Mariota is able to be mobile, so I think he's due for another solid game. I don't think he's going to put up as good of numbers as last week, but I feel like Chicago also could struggle at times offensively, and I like Washington's chances at home, so give me Washington.
All right. Green Bay and Jacksonville, I think is another easy one. Jacksonville coming off the win in London, but the Packers, I like Jordan Love the way he's been throwing the ball around the last couple of weeks. Hopefully against a team with this kind of defense, he could limit the turnovers and kind of get back on track in that regard. But I think it's going to be more of the same. Him, Josh Jacobs going to have a big game too. Give me Green Bay.
All right, call me insane. I'm picking Jacksonville here.
Wow.
Listen, there's not much analysis going into this. I just think that they're going to upset them, and I couldn't even tell you why.
You need that sometimes.
I think that they are just going to win. I couldn't even give you a great reason. I mean, they are at home, so maybe that helps their chances, but I'm going to pick them solely because I think they're randomly going to upset them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I respect it, though. I really do.
Yeah.
All right. Indianapolis and Houston. A kind of important game in the AFC South because the Colts are kind of still hanging around here.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So it's in Houston. I'm going to lean Houston because of that. Coming off a tough loss to Green Bay, and on the road, get it home, get things right. CJ Stroud will have a bounce back game, I'm pretty sure, and give him the win.
Yeah, I'm going to be going Houston here as well. I just think Stroud is due for a much better game. He had less than 100 passing yards. That's not like him at all. So he'll be back. He'll be good to go. And I just think solely that this team is more talented right now. So give me Houston at home.
Saints and Chargers in LA. The Chargers coming off of that loss on Monday Night Football, and I think they're going to lose again. The Saints haven't won in a while. They've lost 5 in a row. And I think they're finding the Chargers at a vulnerable time, where obviously the Saints are vulnerable too because they haven't won in a while, but they're just desperate to get a win at this point. So I'm going to lead it into their favor and think their defense is going to have to show up because Herbert's really the only thing that's been going on, and that offensive line for San Diego, the weapons aren't really there. So if they can kind of get him out of the pocket and make it even more difficult on him, that's going to be the strategy for success. So give me the Saints.
I'm going to be going the Chargers here. I think solely based on the idea that they have the better quarterback. They're at home. I think that they also are really good in the run game. And their defense has been kind of slept on too. So give me the Chargers. The Saints have just not been good as of late.
Right, Bills and Seahawks. This one's in Seattle. Give me the Bills. They look good right now. Seattle coming off the win, but still, kind of look the same as they have. And the Bills' offense looking good. Getting Cooper in the mix another week with him. A lot of people to throw to. So I'm leaning towards Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to be leaning towards Buffalo here as well. I just think that they're hitting their stride right now. They're starting to get some momentum. And Seattle, on the contrary, hasn't looked too great recently. They also are going to be probably without DK Metcalf this game because I'm seeing that he hasn't practiced today, and he's not going to practice tomorrow either, which doesn't bode well unless you start to get some limited practices in. I'm not sure if that's going to end up happening. So I'm assuming that he's not going to play, which to me is a big factor. I'm going to be going Buffalo here.
Okay, Eagles, Bengals. Bengals finally getting some wins together, but I think the way Saquon Barkley played last week, the Eagles are going to go in another road game, and they're going to keep proving why they are a good team. And I think Saquon's going to have another monster game against this Bengals team. Eagles are going to put up a lot of points, and I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to match it.
Interesting. I'm going to be going with the Bengals. I think they're finally starting to get things going. They're 3-4 right now. If you win this week, you're 4-4. You're kind of right back in the thick of it when you think
Especially in the AFC, it's wide open right now.
Right, exactly. So a win here, they're 4-4. They're right back in the playoff race, which sounds insane. They started off, 0-3, 1-4, something like that? And here they are. They could come right back into it. I think that their offense is really starting to hit. Burrow has looked really good throughout the year. I'm going to be going with Cincinnati here at home.
All right, Carolina and Denver. I'm going to go with Denver. Carolina starting Bryce Young this week as Dalton will be out. Denver's been looking good, 33 points last week. They're at home, and the defense has been really shutting it down. Pat Surtain really been good at the corner, so I'm riding with Denver to get another win here.
Yeah, I'm going with Denver here too. There's not much more to say. Carolina's just not too great. And yeah, Denver has been sneakily decent. So yeah, give me Denver.
All right, Chiefs, Raiders, same thing. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. It's in Las Vegas, but there'll probably be a lot of Chiefs fans there anyways. They're 6-0. They're rolling on offense right now, and they're going to keep it going.
Yeah, the Chiefs just own the Raiders like every single year, so
I know about that. They won, was it last December or the December before the Raiders won in Kansas City?
fair point.
I don't think it mattered because they won the Super Bowl
Yeah, I
both
was
years.
gonna say they just winning the Super Bowl and dominating the division, but yeah, I'm gonna be going with KC here. There's just not a reason not to pick them right now, so yeah, give me KC.
All right. Cowboys, 49ers, Sunday Night Football. Should be a really good game. The Niners lost last week to Kansas City, but this one's going to be close. But I'm going to edge it to San Francisco because the Cowboys have just looked atrocious. They have nothing going for them. Now, they might be able to get it a little bit figured out, but just even with the injuries, San Francisco is the better team, I think, and they're playing better football overall where they're going to get the win.
Yeah, I'm going San Fran here as well. I just think they're due for a solid game. And yeah, Dallas just has nothing going, especially offensively, where they were dominant, obviously, the last few seasons. They just don't have it anymore. They have no run game, and that's been a big issue. So yeah, give me San Fran here.
And last but not least, the Giants are going to Pittsburgh, Monday Night Football.
Oof.
Pittsburgh, the defense looked pretty good. And I think that with their line, the Giants line struggling, and with Daniel Jones struggling, TJ Watt's going to have a monster game. That defense is going to get to him, make him get rid of the ball, force some turnovers. They haven't really been able to punch the ball in the end zone regardless. And I think Russell Wilson didn't look too bad last week against the Jets. So I think he's going to keep moving along, get the ball to George Pickens. Najee Harris starting to find his younger form as well. So I'm gonna lean Pittsburgh at home here.
Yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh here as well. I just as a Giants fan, I'm not too impressed with what I'm seeing right now. And Wilson looked really good last week. I understand that the Jets defense is a bit banged up, but still, I thought it was gonna give him some trouble. I thought that it would take a little bit longer for him to have consistency with this offense because he hasn't really played with them that much. But he comes right in and he looks really good. And yeah, they're home as well. Give me Pittsburgh.
All right, those are our picks. To see the list again, go check out our social medias and follow us on all of our social medias at SRL.media on Instagram and TikTok. You can find this podcast here on YouTube at SRL Media or on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So once again, this was episode number 8 of SRL on the NFL alongside Alex Fachaponte. I'm Brendan Yerkes. Thank you so much for tuning in.